What's up, everybody? We back with another message, another video. Thank you to all my new subscribers and future new subscribers. You know we do nothing here without God because everything is spiritually led by God over here. We cover the world from a spiritual and physical aspect to get the raw, real, and uncut answers. So anything you hear, anything you see in these end times, may you test the spirits, aka take the words and visuals back to prayer with God, as there are many Decepticons running around in these end times. Sent from the enemy, had that strong, close, and personal relationship with God. Good, great, awesome. I took a nap today, Saturday, September 9th, and woke up from an interesting dream, and I just knew I was going to have one. I just felt it because the way God was speaking to me. So, okay, and I'm going to add that extra part he just told me to add. So let's start off with the first part. I was waiting in line to get in this place that, like in Michigan, this place called CJ Barrymore, it has go-karts and stuff, right? So I'm waiting in this line to get in the building, and I'm talking to this guy, and I said to him, this place needs something else. It needs expansion, something for adults. So, you know, adults in the spirit, like people that are prepared for something new, change, essentially, as interpretation, okay? So, like I was telling y'all, that place had go-karts, but when we walked into the place, it was literally like water all on the ground, everywhere. And when I looked over, I saw that where the go-karts would be, there were like boats in place of it, like small mini little boats that people could fit in and drive around like they was in go-karts, but it's water, right? So I'm like, what the heck is going on here? And then I looked down at my feet and noticed that I don't have any shoes on. And the water was kind of cold. I was like, oh, this is kind of uncomfortable, right? So it was just so different. And the guy was just not having it. Like, he was not for the change. And then my mom and my aunts were in the dream, and a friend of theirs, and they weren't really here for the change. It's like, no, we got to go somewhere else. I didn't know it was going to be all this water. This place is different from the last time I've been here. So, and it's been a long time since I've actually been there. Like, I'm talking, I was probably a teenager last time I went, like 13 years old. But in this next little part of that same segment, there were little kids, and a man was reading to these little kids in this place. And a woman walked up to him, and he said to the woman, don't tell them I'm leaving them. Like, don't tell my kids I'm leaving them, you know, like. So this is what God gave me. This world needs a change, a major change. Many will already be prepared to adapt to the new ways of the world. Others will not like it. Many who aren't prepared will face a surprise. Many will be uncomfortable in this new season, stepping out of comfort zones, adaptation. Many who are blind will get caught off guard. I will never leave my children, know this. And that just takes me back to me not having like shoes on, because all that water would damage people's shoes, you know. But I was already prepared unknowingly. I didn't know what I was walking into, just like we don't really know what we're walking fully into this season. We've got warnings and stuff, but we don't know exactly what it's going to look like until we get into it. But me not having shoes on showed that I was ready for what was coming, you know, because it was water all over the place. And then this next part of the dream, I was talking to people about what they needed to work on. So there were like these low percentages near characteristics or traits of a person. Like, the person would be talking to me and I would see it in holographic, bold, I don't even know, it was just standing out, like social or whatever it may be. And it was low percentages of a hologram next to a person. So that was different. And this is what God said. Many will upgrade in areas they aren't aware of. Okay. There is much work needed to be done in the body, which is true. I mean, God, with this new season, is taking you into new zones that are uncomfortable. And he's done that for me and still doing it. I'm like, you know, I wasn't really the type of person to just be open about every little thing. So having to do that was different for me, and connecting with different people and learning how to test the spirits on everybody I connect with. Like, that's different. I'm like, oh my gosh, let me make sure I have connections with the right people and people have the right intentions. So, I had to get used to that when I first started. It was out of my comfort zone because at the end of the day, this is still all new to me personally. I've only been doing this for a year, but as far as connecting with other brothers and sisters, this only been going on for months. So getting used to all that, is different. Like I'm cool with talking to people, but in this particular field, it's like that extra, oh my goodness, I got to be careful because, y'all know what I'm saying, like the enemy and then people being led by God. So yeah, it's that extra layer that kind of gets you like, all right, let me stay on my toes. But yeah, that's getting pulled out your comfort zone in new seasons. And we going to have things new that we ain't ever seen before. So we going to have to adjust to it, good and bad. And this is one thing that God was telling me to send directly to certain people, but he want me to rephrase it a bit. Like it's the same words, but like not to one person, if that makes sense. So this is what the Lord said. Death is coming. Do not panic by these words. Many will perish in this time. Do not be afraid for those you care for. I entrust you and many of you, because he's talking to me too, with upcoming responsibility. I want you to know how important you are. You will help save many and you don't even realize it yet. So for those that's just starting off, understand you have a special purpose and God is putting you through what he's putting you through for a reason. He told me this at the beginning of the summer. He told me this last year before the year started that so many people would not make it into 2024. And for those that probably been watching me for a good couple of months, I'm sure y'all have seen the videos of me saying that a couple of times that the Lord has given me. But that's what he was telling me. And he's been telling me this since last year, giving me visions and dreams of people are going to perish because they're going to do the wrong things or make the wrong decisions or fall victim to fear because of what's going on, and their passions are wanting to do something. They're going to choose that over God and end up hurting themselves, putting themselves in danger. And those visions were just so intense. And this is before I actually had the channel that I had a vision, but I can't get too detailed with that particular one because, again, there's stuff in there I can't really say too much on, but y'all can get the gist of what's being returned right now that they bringing back. But yeah, that was a part of that dream. And so a year later, I see it going down. And it's just, I can't even believe, I can believe it, but it's just, everything is just manifesting. It's manifesting. And it's sad to know that a lot of people aren't going to make it out of this year and so forth because of not having God. That's really the only reason why you wouldn't make it and not following God's instructions. People that really just are blinded. He did say his people perish through the lack of knowledge. So, I mean, that's the message, y'all. I don't want to make this too long. So peace and blessings, and I will catch y'all in the next one.